Welcome to our first ever Flash report. These types of videos will be a lot shorter and less heavily edited, like a faster video, because like the Flash is like fast. So it's like, anyways, let's get started. Today's topic is the DCU cooked. As I'm sure you know, The Brave and the Bold has announced its writer, Christina Hodson. This announcement was very controversial. There's really no other way to put it. People are not too happy. Now, for me personally, I have not seen Bumblebee. I've seen Birds of Prey. I don't think it's the worst movie. I don't think it's the best movie. I think it is a movie that I've seen. Like, it's fine. And obviously I've seen The Flash. That movie is, again, it's fine to me. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not a good movie to me. It's just a movie that exists, which I guess is not the best track record for someone to have, but that just seems to be the case. But yeah, people are pretty upset about this. People are pretty scared, nervous. Seen a million videos already saying the DCU is cooked. Brave and the Bold is over. Now, as much as I love Pattinson, and if you don't know, I really do love Pattinson. It's like, that's my GOAT. We have to accept that the merge is not happening. Let's focus just on the character Batman. The character by itself is not going to make for, a great film. We need a good writer. We need a good director. Now, before any of this even happened, people were upset about Andy Muschietti directing. And me, myself, basing it off of The Flash, I was a bit nervous too. But after watching Welcome to Derry, I'm excited for him to direct. That being said, there's been reports that he might not even direct this movie anymore. So we have questionable writer, an ex-questionable director who may or may not direct the movie, and a bigger, more glaring problem than both of those things, our Batman is not being introduced until like 2028, which is definitely a decision. I know the title of this video is the DCU cooked? And the basis of all of this is we got our new writer for the movie, which people don't love. But why is Batman being introduced so late? It's like, I understand the idea of wanting to flesh out a world. It doesn't have to always just be Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, rinse, repeat, whatever. We want to see more characters. However, when you have a group of characters as established as the Trinity, people want to see the Trinity. That's not crazy. That's not lazy. That's not anything bad. When people think of DCU, they think of Batman, they think of Superman, they think of Wonder Woman. So why is it taking 3 years for us to get our first Batman project? To even see Batman, assuming we don't see him in anything else. That's like the biggest problem for me. I don't really care if a movie is bad or a couple movies are bad, whatever the case is. It's more so like the ideology behind all of this is kind of weird. We're starting with Peacemaker and Superman before we get to Batman. Like, Superman's fine, but Peacemaker, Mr. Miracle show, like there's a lot of shit happening before Batman. Where's Batman? On top of all this, like I said, Pattinson is my GOAT. There's a full ass separate Batman happening out of the verse. Like, this is just a mess. And in a general sense, I feel like I'm not that critical of just superhero media in general. Like, I'm there to have a good time, there to have fun, just want to see my action figures fight. But it starts to become a problem for me when I feel like the decisions being made are not good decisions for the medium, I guess. I don't know if this is a medium-wide thing, but yeah, for the franchise. When James Gunn was announced as the head of DCU, I was very excited. I was happy. I like the Guardians movies. I like what James does. I like the Suicide Squad. But I can't pretend like I love every decision that's been made recently. Not to say I'm completely checked out or to even say the DCU is cooked. It's just like a little bit jarring to see disappointing headlines over and over again, or at the very least not see exciting things. Superman was a good movie. I know some people don't like it. I know some people really like it. I think it's a good movie, solid movie, but I need a little bit more than solid, especially if we're going from DCEU to DCU. It should have been off to a fantastic start, and I can't say that it was, nor is it now. Again, I don't really have a major problem with the standalone movies. Superman movie is fine. Peacemaker season 2, not my favorite, but I'm not too mad at it. But it's like, what are we doing for 3 whole years? Keep in mind, we have Man Up Tomorrow coming out, which people are kind of hinting at being more of a team-up movie than I initially expected, which is cool. We're supposedly gonna get Wonder Woman, or I guess people are saying now it's gonna be Maxima. Whatever the case is, it's just like 2 Superman movies before we get Batman, before we get Wonder Woman, before we get introduced to the rest of the Justice League. It's just a little bit annoying, I guess. Like, I want to be invested in this verse. I want to watch these movies, looking forward to what's going to happen next. But right now, it just feels like, I don't know, there's no real sense of direction, which I guess there wouldn't be because there's only 2 projects, but it's like, we need some more projects to come out. And even on top of all of that, majority of the announced projects when we did the Gods and Monsters slate aren't even happening. Like, they've been silently canceled or just quote unquote being rewritten, whatever. Where the are they? I bought the Authority compact to read because I was excited for the Authority movie because the characters look cool. What the do you mean the movie's not coming out? Like, shit like this is what pisses me off. Don't tell me you're gonna make a movie unless you're gonna make the movie. Stop jumping the gun. Get it? It's like James Gunn. Now, to be fair, not everything is bad. There are potentially things to look forward to, and I say potentially because it's not like these things are announced. It's just like if you imagine hard enough, they're there. Now, what do I mean by that? We are basically in a blank slate as far as actors, as far as characters right now. The DCU is essentially David Cornsweet, Superman, and John Cena, Peacemaker. We don't know who will be Batman. We don't know who will be the Flash. We don't know anything. And with that brings a whole world of possibilities. Now, on one hand, we could get the Batman casting and immediately we'll just know we're cooked. It's bad. Everything is over. On the other hand, we get the Batman casting and it's peak. Everyone's excited again. New Batman movie. OMG. Everyone's so happy. Same thing with the rest of the characters. Like I already said, the Flash. Imagine, right? You're minding your business. You're having a day. You're having a bad day even. Boom. Grant Gustin for the Flash in the DCU. Now, obviously, not everyone wants to say, I know someone already just clicked off the video just because of that. But, you know, just stuff like that. It'll be fun to see the new castings. Fun to see who will portray these characters for a long time going forward. So that actually kind of brings us back to our first point, because it's like we're making stuff up, but the theoretics is still fun to talk about given that they actually do come true. Right now we have Supergirl, Clayface, Lanterns, Man of Tomorrow. I think those are all the projects that are actually greenlit. And while these projects can be very promising, I'm not gonna lie, Supergirl has me a little bit worried. I like the Woman of Tomorrow story a lot. However, the Woman of Tomorrow movie kind of looks like a James Gunn movie, which I don't really get those vibes from the Woman of Tomorrow book. So it is a little bit like the teensiest, like the microiest bit jarring or scary when we are 2 films into the DCU, and both of these films are visually James Gunn films. You know, this is the DCU, not the James Gunn CU, which is like fine, honestly. Truly, it is fine. I don't have as big of a problem with James as a lot of people do. However, I do want some differentiation, whether that be in tone, whether that be in visuals, whether that be in character. I don't really care. I just need some type of differentiation. I don't want everything to essentially be a Superman-centric story, which, you know, is awesome to start with. I'm glad we started with Superman. But like I said, we've gotten Superman, we've gotten Peacemaker, and then we're getting Supergirl and Man of Tomorrow. That is 4 projects all about this centralized Superman story. And I guess Peacemaker isn't as much per se about Superman, but, you know, the Lex Luthor stuff, all the setup for Man of Tomorrow, like, it's definitely inspired by what's set up in that first movie, which is fair. You know, we're not going to set up stuff in one movie and then just move on to a whole bunch of different stuff. But yeah, it's just people are very clearly jaded already and we're only 1 movie in. That's not a good sign. But again, back to playing devil's advocate, there is some stuff to look forward to. Like, theoretically, like I said, Andy might not even direct The Brave and the Bold. Sam Raimi said he wants to direct a Batman movie. The pieces are there, just put them together. Like, come on, bro, it's not hard to do, James. Don't make me do your job for you, okay? These are easy ass layups. You're talking about some of the biggest characters in the world. It's fucking Batman. It's not hard to make a compelling Batman movie. Just do it. I feel like it's almost harder to fuck up a Batman movie than to make a good one, or at the very least an exciting one. Like, everything I've heard about The Brave and the Bold just sounds like stressful to me. Why are we starting with Damian? Like, what the fuck is going on? But I don't want to be too pessimistic. I'm kind of in the middle. Obviously, this video is named Is the DCU Cooked? This might be unsatisfying. I can't really answer that question. I can just present how I feel, present my perspective, and leave that up to you to decide. So you tell me, is the DCU cooked, or is it too early to tell? Personally, if I had to answer, I would say the DCU's not cooked per se. You know, people will still tune in at the very least to see what this first arc is building up to, but I cannot say that the start has been perfect, a smooth launch. It hasn't. It's been a little interesting, but I will stick with it and we will see where it takes us. I want a sense of what we're building up to, because we have the Superman movie, And then we have Peacemaker 2, which ends with Peacemaker on that island, alluding to a type of Salvation Run-esque story. Now I'm saying esque because let's be realistic, I have not read that. I saw the end of the show, I looked up some stuff, I saw what people were saying, so I guess that means Salvation Run. Now based on everything we've seen with James and how he's doing stuff for the DCU, that's kind of irrelevant. It's not going to be Salvation Run, but we are seeing what he is inspired by, what eras he's pulling from. I'm seeing a lot of talk about the New Frontier, things of that nature, so that's cool. I just need to see this brought to fruition. I don't want to imagine an ideal DCU, I want to see an ideal DCU, if that makes sense. You know, all the pieces are there, they can be put together. This is the time to do it. You know, Marvel was doing bad. I think the Doomsday trailers have brought back some merit to the MCU, believe it or not. People are pretty excited for Doomsday again, which is great, but we were at a time where everyone is shitting on Marvel. DC had every opportunity to take the lead, and I feel like they kind of sold, like not fully sold, but like they kind of sold. Like they should have built a lot of rapport with us, with this audience. People should have been talking their shit like, ooh, MCU fall off, DCU up next. No, people can't even say that, bro. Like it's just not looking good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Rant over. At the end of the day, I want the DCU to do well. I want it to excel. Just want everything to be fun, fresh, exciting. I can't say that's how I feel right now, but I will stay optimistic for the future. With that being said, that's all for today. I appreciate you listening to this yap session. Might have been a little bit pessimistic, but truly I do want everything to work out for the best in the end. Let me know what you think about the DCU. Let me know if you think the DCU is cooked, if it is doing well, whatever your thoughts are. Let me know down below. This has been Double Creature. Goodbye.